A massive, chilling update just dropped regarding the vanishing of Nancy Guthrie, and it changes absolutely everything we thought we knew. Hit that subscribe button and turn on those alerts immediately, because on March 10th, mere hours before this recording, a former federal investigator dropped a bombshell statement on social media that sent absolute shockwaves through the global true crime community. That veteran insider is Jennifer Coffin-Daffer. Decades of deep cover work within the Bureau have given her a masterful understanding of how major operations unfold. She reads police silence like a native language, and she can instantly tell when a manhunt is freezing over versus when it is ticking down to an explosive conclusion. Her latest post was far from a wild guess. It was a carefully worded inquiry hiding a massive revelation in plain sight. Her message read, pondering the reasons behind the local commanding officer actively rejecting top-tier volunteer rescue forces, specifically EquiSearch and the legitimate United Cajun Navy. Could authorities be on the verge of taking someone into custody? Do they already know Nancy's ultimate fate, prompting them to spare these volunteer groups a pointless deployment? Exactly. And she followed that up with a massive four-word statement that has been echoing across every online platform since it dropped. Glass half full approach, she noted, praying that investigators are closing the net. Remember, this profound insight is not coming from some random keyboard warrior. We are talking about an elite, retired federal agent who has personally spearheaded the exact type of high-stakes, terrifying manhunts we are witnessing today. She is actively dissecting the tactical moves of local police and reading between the lines. Her expert analysis reveals a commanding officer who is deliberately blocking outside assistance. This block is not born out of apathy or a lack of skill. It is highly probable that he is shutting down the sweeps because he already holds the horrifying answers. In this video, we are going to dissect every microscopic clue pointing directly toward that jaw-dropping theory. We are breaking down the subtle police signals, the professional breakdowns, and the hard data proving this mystery is not fading away. It is gearing up for a major strike. But before we decode the hidden meaning behind that former agent's viral warning, we need to clarify exactly who Jennifer Coffin-Daffer truly is, and why her perspective carries infinitely more weight than nearly anyone else currently talking about this tragedy. She is no armchair detective chasing clout, nor is she some academic sitting behind a desk who has never seen the gritty reality of a crime scene. This woman operated deep within the very same massive federal intelligence network that is currently hunting down whoever snatched Nancy Guthrie. From day one, she has kept a hawk eye on these bizarre events, sharing her thoughts on social networks, giving insights to major publications, and dropping knowledge on national television. While other creators rely on wild, baseless rumors, this veteran investigator deals exclusively in hard, calculated facts. She keeps her emotions fully in check, remaining incredibly grounded, and she never hesitates to call out massive red flags just as openly as she points out promising leads. Back when police failed to track down that mysterious car spotted on neighborhood surveillance during the critical snatch window, she openly declared that failure to be deeply alarming. The moment the lead detective admitted they were hitting roadblocks, "We have forensic material," she tackled those brutal genetic complications head-on. She refuses to sugarcoat the nightmare. She simply analyzes the board, and currently, the department's absolute refusal to utilize elite search teams is flashing a gigantic warning sign she refuses to overlook. We need to deeply explore the drama surrounding these independent tracking squads, because that precise rejection is what sparked this legendary investigator's post. And the details are staggering. Understand this, the United Cajun Navy is absolutely not just a bunch of random amateurs playing hero on the weekends. They are a highly disciplined, heavily equipped, charitable force, boasting a massive success rate in locating missing persons during nationwide crises. Their second-in-command, Brian Trasher, recently sat down on a major national true crime broadcast to reveal exactly what they handed the local police. They delivered a staggering 41-page tactical blueprint, packed with advanced strategies, featuring military-grade, aerial tech designed to spot human body heat miles deep into the pitch-black wilderness. They even offered to drop 25 highly specialized tracking dogs right into the danger zone. This included meticulously mapped-out land searches, led by rugged survival experts who navigate this exact hostile environment for a living. This was no empty gesture. It was a fully fleshed-out tactical assault on the desert terrain, officially handed to the Pima County authorities. The commanding officer's response: absolutely nothing. No acceptance. No denial. Not even a basic confirmation of receipt. Just pure, deafening quiet. Eventually, after journalists turned up the heat, the department released a generic memo claiming they valued the support, but insisted the grueling work should be handled solely by the authorities. Let that sink in: handled solely by authorities. You can look at that statement from two entirely different angles. The first is just classic institutional arrogance. A territorial boss guarding his precinct, desperate to keep independent eyes away from a highly sensitive, ongoing nightmare. The alternative angle is exactly the terrifying conclusion our veteran agent pieced together on March 10th. The chilling reality that investigators are holding onto a dark, tightly guarded secret. It strongly implies the rescue portion of this tragedy, meaning the physical deployment of hounds and aerial cameras over the wasteland, has been completely scrapped. Why? Because the objective has violently shifted from a rescue mission to a direct, imminent takedown. Listen closely. We are about to lay out every single breadcrumb backing up this shocking insider theory. Because ghosting these tracking experts is simply the newest clue in a massive trail of breadcrumbs. Clue number 1. The lead commander explicitly told the public that they are undeniably narrowing the gap. A chilling revelation just dropped on national television that changes absolutely everything we thought we knew about this nightmare. Speaking point blank to NBC on the Today Show, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos made a jaw-dropping claim. Authorities are officially breathing down the necks of the shadowy figures caught on that haunting security tape. He did not mince words with vague hopes of stepping in the right direction. Nor did he sugarcoat it by claiming they were just making baby steps. The exact word used was definitely. However, not everyone bought into that bold phrasing. Jennifer Dalbler, a veteran who dedicated 13 years of her life to the FBI dissecting complex intelligence networks, sounded a massive alarm regarding the sheriff's confident choice of words, warning Newsweek that such absolute certainty is incredibly rare for top brass to broadcast. She feared it could trigger a disastrous side effect, tricking the public into dropping their guard and letting the case go cold. Yet, beneath the surface, a much darker, far more thrilling interpretation is brewing. Another seasoned ex-FBI insider completely shattered that skepticism, revealing to Newsweek that pairing the phrase "definitely closer" with the mention of blistering new leads is actually secret agency code for something massive. When seasoned detectives publicly announce they are closing the gap and tracking fiery new trails, it translates to a chilling reality. They are absolutely done digging through useless rumors and are now aggressively locking onto their target through intense verification. They are utilizing advanced digital footprints and relentless forensic science. We are no longer guessing. We are zeroing in. Make no mistake, those are not the words of a team hitting a dead end. That is the sound of a trap snapping shut around the perpetrators. This brings us to the second mind-blowing clue, a total transformation in how the task force is operating. During the initial chaos of this harrowing mystery, the federal footprint in Tucson was absolutely staggering. We saw hundreds of specialized agents flooding the streets and a 24-hour nerve center operating relentlessly without a single break. Suddenly, that overwhelming army seemed to vanish into thin air, and the main hub of operations quietly shifted away from Tucson over to Phoenix. But hold on, because the mainstream media got this completely wrong, painting this strategic move as authorities throwing in the towel when the hidden truth is fiercely the opposite. Exactly 4 elite detectives from the Pima County Sheriff's Department, alongside one highly decorated sergeant, were quietly drafted into a specialized federal unit, locking themselves inside the FBI's Tucson fortress with one sole obsession: solving the Nancy Guthrie nightmare. 4 seasoned investigators and 1 commanding officer, operating round the clock on a relentless, dedicated squad. You do not build a specialized strike team if a case is going cold. You build this kind of squad when you have finally cut through the useless static and locked straight onto the glowing truth. What started as a frantic, sprawling manhunt has now mutated into a razor-sharp, hyper-focused predator unit hunting down extremely specific, game-changing targets. Profiler Coffindaffer pulled back the curtain on this exact strategy during a jaw-dropping sit-down interview. She exposed that this operation is burning up the charts, deploying up to 100 brilliant minds, including top-tier doctors, razor-sharp analysts, and hardened Pima County officers, all relentlessly pursuing every viable thread, scorching hot, not frozen, not fading away into the archives. Completely explosive, this triggers the third massive clue, the sudden release of Annie Guthrie's vehicle back to her grieving relatives. This mind-bending development was unearthed exclusively through Coffindaffer's brilliant digging, and it is criminally underreported given how much it changes the narrative. When the tragedy first unfolded, authorities aggressively seized several cars tied to the inner circle, sweeping up the ride belonging to Savannah's own sister, Annie Guthrie. Out of nowhere, that very same car has been quietly handed back over to the family members. To anyone fluent in police tactics, this sparks two possible outcomes. The first is that the car was a total dead end, completely devoid of clues, and tossed aside as useless. But forget that option. The second, far more terrifying and pivotal explanation is this. The forensic teams have already gutted that vehicle of every single secret it held, and keeping it locked up is no longer necessary. They found exactly what they were hunting for. Every microscopic fiber and digital footprint it offered has already been woven into their master web of evidence, meaning the physical shell can go home. Brace yourself for clue number 4, Jason Pack's spine-chilling breakdown of the feds swarming the neighborhood again. Retired Special Agent Pack, a legendary force during the chaotic opening chapters of this nightmare, who famously compared pulling that crucial Nest doorbell clip to unearthing a microscopic needle hidden in an impossible haystack, just dropped a massive truth bomb regarding the Bureau's shocking choice to march right back into Nancy Guthrie's community for an intense second wave of knocking on doors. He labeled this bold return an incredibly positive omen. His reasoning is so surgically brilliant that it absolutely must be broken down word for word. Pack revealed that when tactical teams scour streets for rogue security clips within the crucial first 48 hours, they are navigating totally blind on a chaotic schedule, but that hazy window becomes crystal clear once the cellular data towers start singing. Once every single sketchy Walmart receipt is ruthlessly dissected, and the moment the perpetrator's very wardrobe is hunted down across every major retail database, the window of opportunity shrinks violently, and all of a sudden, a totally meaningless comment made by a local 3 weeks prior transforms into the ultimate smoking gun. A throwaway piece of gossip from 3 weeks ago is now the key to the whole kingdom. Pack is exposing the terrifyingly brilliant science of making old clues explosively relevant. Clues swept up during the initial panic rarely reveal their true, dark potential until much later in the game. Digital mountains take forever to decode. Warrants demand agonizing delays before unlocking hidden files. The lab specialists need absolute patience to crack the DNA codes. But the instant those fresh, undeniable facts hit the war room, the clock gets dialed in flawlessly, and random, shattered puzzle pieces violently snap together. Seeing black SUVs flood those quiet streets once more is definitely not the feds grasping at straws. It is a terrifying display of pinpoint accuracy. They finally know exactly whose shadow they are chasing across those lenses and whose buried memories they need to crack open. And they are marching back to claim it all. And now, for the fifth, absolute game changer, Coffindaffer's incredibly daring reveal of the perpetrator's most glaring, unmistakable physical traits. If you are following this dark saga, this is the one earth-shattering detail you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Ex-investigator Coffindaffer Uriel pored over every frame of that porch security tape, bringing her deep tactical expertise to figure out exactly what the authorities could pull from those digital shadows. And the conclusion she reached about our disguised intruder should absolutely send chills down your spine. According to her analysis, this phantom is glaringly recognizable. From his brow line to his facial hair, right down to his wardrobe choices and that distinct jewelry on his smallest finger. The primary break in this mystery hinges on someone recognizing these traits. We need to dissect every single clue buried in that assessment. Take the brow area first. Despite wearing full facial covering, the intruder's striking arches practically leap off the screen, Their undeniable thickness and sharp curve pair closely with a dark mustache, a detail federal agents have officially verified, peeking out from the bottom rim of his disguise. This unique facial characteristic drastically shrinks the pool of potential culprits. Then consider his overall presentation. We are not merely talking about his gear or face covering, but the exact tailoring of his garments. The calculated placement of his equipment reveals volumes about his prior tactical experience and everyday habits. Finally, there is the jewelry, a band clearly pressing against the material of his heavy-duty hand protection in images distributed by federal authorities. The local sheriff explicitly acknowledged this detail, noting how sharp-eyed observers highlighted the shape and called it out as a band. He completely agreed, observing the distinct outline on the outermost finger, which shifts this from a random detail to a highly individualized trademark. It is an intimate fashion choice that a close associate would spot in a heartbeat, making the expert's evaluation absolutely vital. Whoever this intruder is, no matter how desperately they tried to hide their identity, they unintentionally broadcasted enough personal quirks on camera for an acquaintance to instantly realize who was lurking outside Nancy Guthrie's front door. Our sixth major red flag introduces a $1.2 million psychological pressure cooker. Former federal investigator Maureen O'Connell perfectly captured the crushing weight of this massive bounty using an analogy that has entirely dominated the headlines. Her theory is that if a crew orchestrated this operation, and she strongly suspects they did, every single member is currently baking in a scorching hot oven. Now, it is merely a waiting game to see who cracks under the heat first. A blistering oven fueled by $1.2 million, $1 million from the victim's relatives, $100,000 from federal authorities, another $100,000 from an unnamed donor, all stacked on top of the 88 crime reward. That staggering fortune is waiting for anybody willing to spill the truth. Furthermore, the tactical expert minced no words regarding exactly how she envisions this mystery unraveling. In an interview with a major news outlet, she confidently stated her primary theory for how justice will be served. It all comes down to a familiar face flipping the script. Whether it is a furious romantic partner, a relative suddenly growing a conscience, or simply someone deciding that $1.2 million is an acceptable price to sell out their own flesh and blood. This is far from wishful thinking. This exact scenario is a proven, undeniable trend in criminal history. Highly calculated abductions executed by individuals with tactical backgrounds almost never remain in the shadows forever, simply because they demand an entire network of planning, logistics, and accomplices. Whoever brainstormed the blueprint, whoever fed the crew sensitive intelligence, the getaway driver, or the cleanup crew, every single one of those participants is a ticking time bomb ready to cut a deal. And with $1.2 million hanging in the balance, the motivation to sing to the authorities is absolutely astronomical. Ex-federal operative Andrew Bringiel, now heading his own private intelligence agency, solidly backed up this theory from a legal standpoint. He shared with reporters that investigations like this typically crack wide open the second a target slips up. Usually, it just requires a single accomplice getting paranoid or deciding to escape the nightmare, trading their chaotic situation for a massive payday. The pressure has been cranking up relentlessly for 6 full weeks. This brings us to the 7th crucial clue, the massive retail chain backpack connection. The lead sheriff identified the suspect's specific 25-liter Ozark Trail outdoor bag as arguably the strongest thread in this entire tangled web, prompting a massive sweep by detectives. They seized the full sales history from the retail giant for every single unit of that bag bought over the last few months, pulling data from every single checkout register, regardless of the date or payment option used. If a plastic card swiped for that item at any of their locations in Arizona or across the nation, the digital footprint is securely logged. That means a specific identity is permanently linked to the sale. But the dragnet extends far beyond paper trails. Law enforcement teams are endlessly scrubbing through retail security video from the surrounding area. They are dissecting feeds from every conceivable angle at locations where the item moved off the shelves, creating an absolutely monumental digital undertaking. Yet, this massive hunt will inevitably hit a wall or strike gold. They will either match a receipt to a face, or discover it was a totally untraceable cash exchange, grabbed at an automated self-checkout. or snagged off an online secondhand market like eBay, the sheriff openly admitted the internet resale angle is on their radar. Yet, he also dropped a massive hint about another angle. He teased that detectives are closely guarding secret developments that the public has not heard a whisper about. What critical secrets are they keeping under wraps? Hearing the top brass declare that they are sitting on classified intelligence is a massive indicator that a major breakthrough might be right around the corner. It is an intentional, chilling breadcrumb meant to show us that the official narrative barely scratches the surface, and the dark secrets they are keeping hidden are the ultimate keys to blowing this wide open. Clue number 8: the terrifying collision of electronic footprints. Former federal investigator Jason Pack painted a cyber-sleuthing masterpiece, breaking down exactly why detectives are quietly buzzing with anticipation. Even without putting someone in handcuffs just yet, they are watching ping histories roll in, scrutinizing big-box store receipts, and hunting down the exact origin of the perpetrator's chilling wardrobe. Every single one of those 3 massive Dragnet's mobile pings, immense retail logs, and fabric sourcing is churning at full throttle all at once. Mobile carrier logs are brutally honest. Make no mistake, any piece of tech breathing in that Catalina foothills enclave between the dark hours of January 31st and February 1st left an indelible digital shadow. We are talking about antenna handshakes, network bridges, and pinpoint location archives hoarded by telecom giants. Federal authorities have forcefully ripped those exact files from the servers. An elite squad of tech detectives is currently matching every single gadget caught lurking in that vicinity against the invisible ghosts that haunted those same streets in the days leading up to the vanishing, specifically targeting the window near January 11th, when local resident Aldine Meister spotted a deeply unsettling shadow pacing, practically stalking the perimeter of the victim's residence. Any glowing screen that popped up on January 11th and made a haunting return on February 1st is now glowing red on a federal monitor. Furthermore, any completely alien piece of hardware, a phantom never before tracked in that zip code, instantly becomes priority number 1. Crunching this unimaginable mountain of federal data does not drag on for decades. It requires a steady hand, and that massive computational beast is hunting for matches at this very second, bringing the ultimate landscape into startling focus, a vision that Coffindaffer, Pack, O'Donnell, and every single seasoned expert looking at this mystery all agree is aiming at one devastating conclusion. It is not a lock, not an absolute promise, but it is a dragnet that is tightening, suffocating, and locking in a strike team acting with lethal precision alongside a cyber-tracking machine operating on countless simultaneous frequencies, creates a suffocating mental torture chamber, fueled by a staggering $1.2 million bounty and 6 brutal weeks of relentless federal heat, ruthlessly crushing anyone who holds a puzzle piece to this dark mystery. We are looking at a local commander actively rejecting amateur hunting parties. Add to that a veteran federal insider, someone whose entire legacy was built on cornering these exact monsters, observing the chessboard and openly declaring optimism, deeply believing the net is finally tightening. Those are absolutely not the words of an expert watching a trail turn into dust. That is the tone of a veteran who smells the unmistakable scent of a manhunt entering its final phase. But wait, there is another terrifying parallel, the exact nightmare that shattered this same mold, the precise tragedy that Jennifer Coffindaffer points to over and over as the ultimate blueprint is the Brian Koberger timeline. 4 innocent scholars savagely taken from the University of Idaho, a shadowy figure who plotted every sinister step, left barely a whisper of evidence, and strutted arrogantly through the following weeks, fully convinced he had outsmarted the world. Until the biological markers triggered an alarm, the antenna handshakes locked into a lethal grid, and on a crisp dawn in January 2023, approximately 5 weeks after the unimaginable atrocities, strike teams swarmed his childhood home in Pennsylvania, digging through discarded waste to snatch a single cotton swab, and just like that, the Phantom's arrogant illusion of invincibility shattered into a million pieces. Now, 6 weeks deep into the chilling Nancy Guthrie mystery, biological traces are sitting in the lab, fresh telecom logs are being mercilessly dissected, big box store transaction receipts are secured, And a former federal hound is openly broadcasting that the strike team is acting exactly like hunters about to spring the ultimate trap. That previous terrifying manhunt wrapped up in week 5. We are currently sitting in week 6. If you recognize the disguised nightmare standing on that front porch, dial 1-800 immediately. Contact the Bureau this exact second. If those distinct facial features, that facial hair, that peculiar piece of finger jewelry, or that deeply unsettling swagger matches someone in your circle, that staggering $1.2 million payout belongs to you. Completely off the record, heavily guarded, and totally instant. Make sure to subscribe and smash that notification bell, because the moment this dam bursts and the experts are convinced it is imminent, this is the exact place you will need to be. Cases like the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie remind us of something deeper than headlines and investigations. They remind us how powerful awareness, responsibility, and community truly are. When a crime occurs, it is not only the work of detectives and investigators that matters. Sometimes, the smallest observation from an ordinary person can become the key that changes everything. This story highlights how every detail matters: a security camera frame, a backpack purchase, a digital signal from a phone tower, or even a small piece of jewelry noticed on someone's hand. In today's world, technology helps law enforcement follow invisible trails, but human attention and conscience remain just as important. There is also a powerful message about accountability. When crimes involve multiple people, pressure, time, and truth often expose what secrecy tries to hide. History repeatedly shows that wrongdoing rarely stays buried forever. But perhaps the most important lesson is empathy. Behind every investigation is a family waiting for answers, hoping for justice, and holding on to hope. Communities grow stronger when people care enough to speak up, share information, and protect one another. In the end, justice is not only built by the system, it is strengthened by ordinary citizens who choose to be observant, responsible, and courageous. Even the smallest action can help bring truth into the light.